That night, I changed into pajamas that were apparently intended for Alice and reclined on the bed. But it's no use. I'm never going to get to sleep. My eyes were wide awake. I wasn't the least bit sleepy. Now that I think of it, it's no wonder I can't relax. After all, this house is meant for Alice. It's not mine. I let out a small sigh and sat up in bed, giving up trying to sleep. I left the house to get some fresh air and sat down on a bench in the garden. I stared absent-mindedly up at the sky and took in the countless specks of light twinkling in the darkness. My gaze slowly dropped to see the flowers bathed in moonlight. I wonder what's gonna happen now. I had no idea what to expect, and the more I thought about it, the more uncertain I became. It almost made me hope that my memory might return tomorrow.
Amelie.
Suddenly, a familiar voice echoed in the night. I thought you'd gone home. When I looked in the direction of the voice, Joker was walking towards me, carrying a paper bag.
I was afraid the house wouldn't have any provisions. I went back into town to buy some food. You haven't eaten anything. At least not since you met me, have you?
It hadn't crossed my mind until he mentioned it. I smiled gently. I forgot all about eating. I didn't even feel hungry.
I understand the need to ruminate, but if you keep this up, your body will languish before your heart does. How about some fruit? That ought to be easy.
As he spoke, Joker sat down beside me. He pulled something pale and yellow out of the paper bag and took a knife to it. It fit right into the palm of his hand and was shaped like a deformed umbrella. There was a shaft sticking out of the middle, just like a real umbrella, and a crook handle. That's a fruit, right? He hummed merrily as he peeled what was supposedly a fruit. Oh, the song! It's the same one he was humming when I lost consciousness. His hands moved smoothly and confidently as he peeled the fruit, as though he were removing the fabric from the umbrella. I couldn't help but be mesmerized by the sight. He had very skillful hands. Before I was even aware of it, there was even a plate set out. Did he bring it from the Alice house, or had he used a spell while I was preoccupied? He cut it up and set it on the plate, piercing one slice with a small silver fork. Thanks. I murmured my appreciation as I took the fork he held out to me. Can I ask you something? This is fruit, right? At my question, Joker's eyes widened in bewilderment. I'm sorry if I've offended you. It's not that I don't trust you, I just don't recall anything about this fruit. So... As I reluctantly explained, Joker nodded in understanding.
So that's why. There's no need to apologize. I respect your attempts to take everything in despite your memory loss.
Oh, yeah? Did he just compliment me? As I sat there blinking, Joker smiled faintly and spoke.
This is a plum parasol. It's very juicy and sweet. It's not very unusual in Wonderland, but...
Joker smiled lightly and urged me to try the fruit.
I kind of like it. You most likely will too. So go ahead and try it.
For some reason, his insistence had me believing his words to be true. I will. Thanks. I smiled and nodded at him. I took a bite out of the smooth white fruit on the fork. This tastes amazing!
Doesn't it? I knew you would like it.
The plum parasol was cool, juicy, and incredibly appetizing. It was not only sweet, but it had a slight tartness to it that made it refreshing. I hadn't had an appetite until now, but... in reality, I must have been hungry. I stabbed the fork into another slice of fruit and brought it to my mouth. The juice from the fruit helped soothe my parched throat, and I felt myself relaxing. Joker... I took a moment to gather my thoughts before I whispered my confession. I'm a bit scared that I can't remember anything. I walked through Wonderland with you today, Joker. But I couldn't remember anything. It was like I was seeing everything for the first time.
I see.
Joker listened to my hesitant confession and just nodded.
Let me ask you one thing, Amelie.
Yes, of course.
Is it really necessary for you to regain your memory?
Huh? His words were so unexpected, I didn't know what to say. I suppose it's not imperative that I regain my memory, but it would be nice to remember if I could, because it's scary not to remember anything. I was sure I could do so much more if I could only remember. With only vague memories, I didn't know what I could and couldn't do. It's frightening not knowing anything. It's like walking a tightrope while blindfolded. Wouldn't it be better to just remember than to live in a perpetual state of insecurity?
Regardless of the nature of those memories?
Joker smiled faintly as if testing me, but I gave him a definitive nod. Of course, not everything in life is a bed of roses. I'd rather live with memories than without it. No matter how painful they are, I still want my memories back. Those the experiences upon which my life has been built. It would be a waste to let it all go. Joker let out a small resigned sigh and muttered as if to himself.
I don't see what's wrong with not turning back and just creating new memories. In your case, Amelie, I don't know if you're being brave or just plain reckless.
He smiled in amusement and regarded me with curiosity. But what made you ask me a thing as such? Is it really necessary for you to regain your memory? Something about the question bothered me. I decided to press Joker further.
To be honest, I don't remember anything about my past either.
Oh, is that so? Wait, are you serious? He spoke as if it was completely natural. Somehow I felt his confession deserved more fanfare. While the unexpected revelation left me at a loss, Joker spoke as if nothing was out of the ordinary.
I told you that I was a criminal, didn't I? Well, I don't remember the crime I'm supposed to have committed.
I found myself speechless. I was so confused I didn't know what to say. Do you have amnesia too? Joker smiled tightly and narrowed his rose-colored eyes. Losing your memory?
Yes, that's correct.
He nodded in response.
Everyone in Wonderland knows that I committed a crime in the past. But no one knows exactly what kind of crime I committed. Perhaps the king might have an idea, but...
King?
Well, ordinary people don't seem to know.
Joker shrugged his shoulders and regarded me.
Perhaps I was drawn to you because of the similarity in our circumstances.
Joker continued to regard me in his vivid, rose-colored eyes as he murmured his reply.
Until now, I've never seen the need to regain my lost memory. But talking to you has managed to move me a little.
As he said this, Joker made a show of holding his thumb and forefinger about 2 inches apart to demonstrate a little.
Maybe the memories I lost hold some meaning as well. In that case, it might be worth getting them back.
When he was finished speaking, Joker smiled softly.
So that's it, Amelie. Losing memory is not that big of a deal. It happens all the time.
Joker. I stared intently at his smile, and I felt very strange. I couldn't believe that it happened all the time, but his words did serve to cheer me up. I felt some of my insecurity leave me. And then, Joker and I engaged in small talk. We started with the basics, covering what we remembered and what we had forgotten. We discussed the different lands in Wonderland, fruits, cooking, and what sweets were popular. His stories are also interesting. It would be easy for him to simply lecture me, but he included plenty of examples and made it entertaining. I found my interest in Wonderland overtaking my fears of the unknown. How strange. I feel like I could listen to Joker talk all day. Either something was very wrong with me, or he was a very good conversationalist.
Amelie? What's wrong?
I wanted to keep listening to him talk, but suddenly all of the day's exhaustion seemed to hit me at once. I might have inherently sensed that Joker was someone I could trust, for suddenly my eyelids fell heavy. I can't keep my eyes open.
Amelie? Now, her long eyelashes slowly fluttered and closed as she drifted off. You're sleepy. Well, I suppose that's obvious. Whoa! Overcome by sleep, Amelie's body fell limp, and she leaned against my shoulder. Amelie? I never said you could borrow my shoulder. Despite my quip, she was fast asleep. In this position, I could hear her shallow breathing, and it heightened my awareness. What am I going to do with you? I tried sounding exasperated to disguise my embarrassment. Today, I had decided to abide by Amelie's wishes and search for the road home. We had walked throughout Wonderland, searching for any clue to reclaim her memories. You must have had a hard time keeping up with a man's stride. I wanted to know how determined you were, so I purposefully refrained from showing consideration, but you kept up with me without giving up or complaining. She must be physically exhausted, even more so because of this unfamiliar world. And her failure to remember this world was no doubt mentally draining. The protagonist, Alice, definitely has it rough. She had lost all memories of her life until now. Joker had no memory of the crime he committed. What twist of fate had brought the two of them together? I absent-mindedly considered this as I gazed upon the peaceful expression Amelie wore as she slept. But I smiled wryly and thought they couldn't remain like this forever. Way to go, giving me a hard time on the very first day. I didn't have the heart to wake her as I watched her sleep. I let out a resigned sigh and very carefully maneuvered myself.
I slowly awoke from my slumber. The bed I found myself in was so comfortable, I didn't want to wake up yet. But how did I get to this room? I tried to remember what happened last night, but all I could recall was talking to Joker. Which means... Oh no, did Joker bring me here? I scrambled off the bed. Any lingering sleepiness abruptly left me. Oh. I was surprised by the sight that greeted me in the comfy room. Joker was lying on the sofa. Upon hearing my exclamation, he sat up and put down the book he was reading.
I see you're awake, Amelie.
Joker grinned in amusement. I broke eye contact with him and opened my mouth to speak. I think I should tell you. Thanks for yesterday. I mean, for listening to me vent. And for carrying me to bed. Joker's eyes rounded in surprise when he took in my words of appreciation.
Wait, are you embarrassed, Amelie?
No, of course not. I don't...
You don't have to hide it from me. Actually, it's kind of cute.
His calling me cute at this juncture left me speechless. Joker laughed and went on cheerfully.
Hey, don't worry about it. You were as light as a feather, so I had no trouble carrying you to bed.
Listening to him speak so matter-of-factly made my face turn bright red. I understood the metaphor, but I knew there was no way the human body could be as light as a feather. His choice of words are even more embarrassing. Just as I moved to wrap my hands around my head, there was a knock at the door. I wonder who it could be.
I'll get that. Why don't you go change your clothes?
As I started to walk towards the door, Joker held out his hand to stop me.
You want to walk through Wonderland again today, don't you? Then you should hurry and get ready.
You're right. I'll do that, thanks. Convinced by his logic, I nodded. Since I rushed out of my room earlier, I was still in my pajamas. I quickly turned to go change. As I did so, I thought, it's not even his home and yet he's answering the door. Joker is, shall I say, nothing if not bold. People like him were probably the definition of being sure of themselves. Those were my thoughts as I headed back to my room. I closed the door to the sweet dream room and quickly started to change. Just then,
What are you doing here, Joker?
I heard a loud voice from the entrance. This voice, Luke? I blinked upon hearing the familiar voice.
Hey, I'm Kyle, the Cheshire Cat. It looks like the Hatter and Joker are in a standoff over Alice. I'm supposed to be the one who knows what's best for Alice, yet sadly I've been left out of the loop. Besides, the duty of the Cheshire Cat is to guide Alice. I can't say it feels good to have that taken away from me. I'd better go get her. Wait for me, my Alice. I'll see you on the next page.